Um, so I hope you guys read the description. It's a pretty straightforward session, but the session will be in two parts. One part I'll be covering that would be about the certifications, about the services, how you can get started with Azure. The second part would actually be my colleague who is a senior course advisor. They'll be talking more about the career and talking more about the training, how you can get right skills. All right. So basically, you would learn. So from me, you will learn why and what Azure is, and basic Azure services, and which Azure certification is right for you. So once that is done, more information about, for example, let's say you're from a different background and you want to get into Azure, or if you're from a different or a non-tech career and want to get into Azure, how you can do that. So those kinds of questions you can keep it for my colleague. If you have any questions related to Azure itself, that is, if you have any technical questions, please put down. I'll answer them. So first 20 minutes, I'll just finish up the actual part of the session, and in between, if there are any relevant questions, I'll answer them. If not, I will just keep going, finish my part, and the last 5 minutes, around 8:50 to 8:55, I will basically give you guys the Q&A. I'll answer all your questions. All right. Okay, so now coming to why Azure. So there are other cloud platforms, and you might have an thought that why should I learn Azure? So basically, there are 2 points I would say for why Azure. One would be if the company you're working for, or if the company you're going to go into use Azure as their primary cloud provider. In that case, obviously, you should learn Azure. If not, Azure is the fastest growing cloud provider right now. AWS, even though it's at the number one position, Azure, sorry guys, Azure is having an even faster growth. All right. And yeah, so third comes Google Cloud, and then comes Ali Cloud, IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud. So this is one of the reasons, but there are more reasons. That is, Azure, obviously they are a subsidiary of Microsoft, and Microsoft is a $1 trillion company, and they invest a lot of money inside in research and development. Not just the security for everything, but they have their own security professionals who are highly experienced in what they're doing. So that basically means they're just showing that Azure invests a lot in their data center, and if you use their data center, it will give you the best out of whatever you're going to get into. And 100 plus services to build, deploy, and manage. So Azure, they keep launching or keep bringing new services and new features every single year into the public cloud market. All right. So that's one more reason. It's a pretty popular cloud service, and they provide you a lot of new services. And then Fortune 500 companies, so 95% of Fortune 500 companies use Azure for their business needs. It doesn't have to be that 95% of the Fortune 500 companies use only Azure. It could be that they use one service or a combination of multiple services from Azure. So 95% of Fortune 500 companies are using Azure, and these are statistics, and statistics obviously don't lie. That's why I wanted to get started with it. And one more is, when you start with Azure, right, you get an equivalent of what is that? So right now the credit has been increased, the credit limit. So for 1 month, you get a 14,500 rupees credit if you're from India. If you're from any other part of the world, you will be getting $100 credit and an equivalent of $100 credit. All right. Yeah, and you get popular services like Azure Virtual Machines, Azure Storage, Azure SQL databases. So these services you'll get for, let's say, not it won't be completely free, but certain aspects or certain features of these services will be free for 12 months. And there are other services, for example, 5 GB of storage would be free forever. Yeah, so these are some of the things. All right. So next comes the average salary. This is because whatever job role you're going to get into, you obviously look into the salary first. And so this is one of the important factors of you choosing a particular career path. And that's why I wanted to give you a brief about this as well. So talking about salary, so Azure Solutions Architect, in US, you get $100,000 per annum. So these are the average values according to Glassdoor.com. You can also go check them. According to in UK, it's 67,000 pounds, and in India, it's 17 lakhs per annum. And again, this is the average salary. It could be less than this when you're beginning with this particular career, and it could be really higher than this if you are really experienced in your particular field. It's not just Azure Solutions Architect. Here I'm just giving you the example of Azure Solutions Architect. There are so many other roles in Azure. There is your developer, there is your SysOps, there is your administrator, there is your DevOps engineers. There are so many roles which you can get into. All right, so these are some of the facts and reasons why you should take up Azure. All right, so now some of you would have an idea of what Azure is, but if you do not have, I'll just give you a simple idea of what exactly is Azure. So Azure is a cloud provider owned by Microsoft, all right? So they provide you various services which you can access via internet. For example, let's say you are accessing Google Drive via internet, right? So you're able to upload files, you're able to create folders via internet. You don't know where your files are getting stored, but you know you're creating and uploading, and your files are available whenever you are searching for it. So now those files are stored in Google's data center. If you are uploading it to Google Drive, or if you are using OneDrive, then it will be uploaded into the Microsoft's data center. So what I'm trying to say here is you're basically using the cloud provider's data center, and you're basically storing data there. But it's not just storing, you're also creating infrastructure, like you're launching servers, you're launching database servers, you're launching various servers, various services in the cloud provider's data center. All right. So to make it even simpler, so basically you're the user, you're going to access, let's say you're launching a server, you don't get direct access to the server, you get remote access to the server. That is, you can access the server which is running in the physical infrastructure somewhere in Microsoft's or Azure's data centers. All right, you are able to access them, but you won't be able to basically, like you won't physically know where they are, but other than that, you would basically get the remote access to the the server, and you'll be able to access them using your own PC. You don't have to have a high configuration PC. It just needs to be a laptop or a desktop, doesn't matter. You just need proper internet connection to start with Azure. You don't need anything else. Okay, so to even put it simply, you will have to understand what is cloud computing. So basically, what you're doing is you're renting the infrastructure from Microsoft. So they have the hardware, you're just renting those stuff, and you're only using whatever you need, and that's it. Then you are basically, what is that? You're just paying for the services you used, and that's it. You just delete them if you don't want them, and you don't pay for them after that. Okay, so it's available in more than 54 regions across the globe. That is the data center. Actually, you have data centers in 54 regions geographically, and that's a really huge number for a cloud provider. All right, so this is one more, and this I already told you guys. So these are some of the companies: Microsoft, BMW, Honeywell, LinkedIn, Xerox, Lufthansa, Samsung. These are some of the companies who use Azure. All right. So now talking about Azure services. So I talked about free services, right? So I'll just give you an introduction to the free services. So these are some of the free services which are available. And if you see Linux virtual machines, they give you 750 hours of runtime. You can run the Linux virtual machine for 750 hours. You can run the Windows virtual machine for 750 hours. So this is the total for one single month. So that basically means, let me give you an example. Let's say you're running 10 servers, and each server is running for 75 hours. So in that case, the total hours run would be 750, and that 750 hours would be free for you. And if you exceed the 750 hours limit, then you will get billed for the servers you are running. Same thing goes with the SQL database. You can store data up to 250 GB for free. If you exceed that, you will have to pay for it. Same thing with file storage, blob storage, and managed disks. You can have 5 GB for blob storage and 5 GB for file storage and 64 GB for managed disks. All right, so these are some of the free services which you will get. Now, coming to Azure major services, so these are various types of services, all right. At the top, you can see these are platform services and these are infrastructure services. So the main difference is that infrastructure services provide you the means to create and launch infrastructure. For example, you can create a server, you can create a storage unit, you can create a load balancer, you can create a container, you can create For example, what you can create in your own physical data center, you can create on the Azure data center as well and get access to it. Second comes the platform services. Platform services are basically services which doesn't need to be created from the scratch. You'll just have to use the service. For example, how can I say that? For example, you let's say you're using web apps. There is a service called web apps here. All right. So if you're using web apps, in that case, you don't have to create a server and then install all the required software and then upload your code to make it run. With web apps, you can choose the runtime. For example, let's say you have a Python application, you can choose the runtime as Python. You can choose like other information. You can provide it a name, and then you can just upload your code to it. It will automatically host your code for you. You don't have to provision any servers. You don't have to do anything. So this is basically platform. You don't have to do anything else. They provide you a platform using which you can create. But the problem between, so basically the difference between the platform services and infrastructure services are, if you're using an infrastructure service, you get operating system level rights. You can install any software you want. You can delete anything you want. You can upload any file you want. But when you come to a platform service, Azure manages everything for you. You will just have to change and upload your code accordingly. That's it. So these are the major differences. I cannot go much deeper into any single service because that will, how to say, it'll bring us out of the discussion we are taking up right now. Okay. So now, yeah. So now let's talk about the certification extensively. Even about the services, you can learn more about it later. So I'm going to talk about the certification so that I would give you an idea of who can take up what certification. All right. Okay. So essentially, there are three main certifications I would suggest. The Solutions Architect, Azure Solutions Architect certification, the Azure Administrator certification, and the Azure Developer certification. So before all of these certifications, you have the Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamentals, which is the AZ900 certification. So this is optional. You don't have to take this before taking up an associate or an expert certification. You don't have to, it's not a prerequisite. You can directly take up an associate, or you can directly take up the Azure Solutions Architect expert certification. But you cannot directly take up the Azure DevOps Engineer certification because for taking up the Azure DevOps Engineer certification, you should have either taken up the Azure Administrator certification or the Azure Developer certification, or you should have completed the Azure Solutions Architect certification. All right. So now I'll just give you an explanation so that you would know who can take up what. For example, the Azure Solutions Architect certification, who can take up. So as a solutions architect, you will have to know one programming language, one high-level programming language. It can be Java, it can be C++, it can be C#, it can be Python, it doesn't matter, but you will have to know one programming language and how it works and how to code in it. You don't have to be a software developer. You don't have to develop complete applications. You just have to know one programming language, because as a solutions architect, you will be creating architectures, you'll be creating resilient, and you'll be creating cost effective, and you'll be creating highly available architectures. So in that case, you are basically, you should understand how your company's application works. So to understand and make it compatible with your application, you should know how that particular code works. All right. So using that, you are creating the architectures. So in this case, if you are not a really good software developer, but you can manage one programming language, in that case, I would suggest the Solutions Architect certification. Now coming to the Azure Administrator certification. So in this case, there is no need for any programming language, because as from the word itself, it's administering. You will administer the Azure cloud. It is more of monitoring, reporting, and a troubleshooting domain. So you basically monitor the entire Azure infrastructure and the entire Azure architecture which your company has, and you will make sure that the architecture is always up and running. The applications which are running on the architecture are up and running. And also, whenever there is a problem with the servers, whenever there is a problem with the storage, or when your website's load speed is slow, so you should be the person to troubleshoot the architecture and infrastructure in order to make it even better. All right. Okay, so if you don't want to associate yourself with programming, you just want to work on cloud, in that case, I would suggest the Azure Administrator certification. Finally, coming to Azure Developer certification. So in this case, you should be a really skilled software developer, because as an Azure developer, you are developing and deploying, you will be developing applications which will be deployed on the Azure architecture. All right. So when you're developing these applications, obviously you should know how to develop these applications from scratch. Okay, so as an Azure developer, you would have to know how to create applications from scratch, and also you should basically know how to what to say how to. So basically, the second part is deploying the application which is created into the Azure architecture. So in that case, you should know how Azure works. So that's where the Azure Developer Associate certification comes into play. You're a software developer and want to become an Azure developer who is creating applications which are going to be deployed into the Azure architecture or the Azure infrastructure. All right. Okay. So now these are three main. So if you if you don't want to associate yourself with programming, go with administrator. If you can manage one programming language, one high-level programming language, go with solutions architect. And if you are a highly skilled, or if you want to become a software developer and also get into cloud, go with Azure developer. But the thing is, to learn any of these certifications and clear any of these certifications, you don't need programming language. So you'll only need programming language for solutions architect when you're going to apply for a job, because in that particular job they'll ask you to know a programming language and they'll ask questions from that language. So you can prepare it for the interview separately. But if you are telling that right now I don't know a programming language, but can I take the solutions architect certification or can I take the developer certification? Yes, you can still take up and you can still clear them, because you won't get asked questions regarding programming them, or you won't get asked coding questions. You'll just be asked cloud questions. So you can clear them. But when it comes to the job, in that case, you should know relevant stuff. All right, you should know relevant skills and relevant technologies according to the job description you're going to get into. Okay, so these three are the main certifications which you can take up according to your need. And if you complete the administrator or developer or solutions architect, then you can go for the AZ 400, which is the DevOps engineer certification. But as a DevOps engineer, to complete that certification, you would need really good expertise in Azure and DevOps. All right, so the first three I would suggest. DevOps engineer, I would only suggest if you have enough experience. Okay. So these are about the certifications, guys. So I hope you guys got who can take up what, and you guys have an idea of which certification you can take up. Okay. So before starting off the Q&A, I'll just give you a brief how you can get started with Azure. So this is the right place you are right now in this particular webinar to learn more about Azure and learn more about training, learn more about the certification. So I think I've given you enough information about the certification. So if you want to actually start learning Azure, then check out intellipaat.com/blog. You will get free tutorials over there. You can get free tutorials on Azure. You can get free tutorials on AWS and more, and you can start learning them. And then there is YouTube, where we have our IntelliPaat channel, where again you can start learning Azure. So we have complete courses and complete tutorials on YouTube where you can basically start your learning career. All right. So now, coming to the Q&A. So I'll be answering them for another 5 minutes, and then I'll hand over the session to my colleague. Okay. So from first I'll count. So first question is from Advita. Salary on which experience? I didn't get your question. I think, are you asking that will the salary depend on the experience you have on that particular role? So salary on which, I think I got your question. I think you're asking that salary on whether the cloud experience or general experience, right? So that even depends, because if you are into IT, if you are in software development, or if you're into software testing, or if you're into any kinds related to software somewhere, that experience will be considered. If you are moving in from a non-tech career, which is totally a parallel of cloud computing, in that case, they would not consider that experience. You would have to start from scratch. So this is the only difference. Next question is from Mohammed. Can you elaborate on the role of program manager, managing program Azure, roles and responsibilities, how to set up, how to handle, engage? So, okay, so these are a lot of questions packed into one. I'll just give you a brief because I don't think I'll be able to answer every single one of them. Okay, so program manager, managing a program for Azure. So in that case, you would be managing the like, how to say. So when a new application is launched, let's say that application needs an infrastructure. So you cannot create a manual infrastructure every single time. So you will have to basically create a template, or you'll have to create a template using Terraform, or you'll have to create a template using blueprints. So basically, you will have an infrastructure which is already available, and you can use that template to run it infinite times. That is not infinite, basically. You can run it 10, 15 times, and you will get the same architecture launched without any hassle. And so basically, as a program manager, you will be handling the Azure architect, Azure admin, Azure developer team in order to make sure that entire process is running smoothly. So this is that much only I know. So please ask this question once again when my colleague is taking. They might be able to give you a better answer. Another question from Advita. So we need to understand actual real life difference, Azure, GCP, and AWS. So basically, there is no real life difference in any of these cloud providers. They provide you literally the same services. They provide you the services with literally the same functionality. So only difference would be pricing. Even performance, even latency won't be a problem. Only problem would be finance, or only problem would be the cost. Even then, it would be just a little expensive or a little less expensive. That's it. For example, if you're a company, in that case, most probably you would take a contract with AWS, for example, a 1 year contract or 3 year contract. In that particular case, what happens is basically you will get a discount, and you as a company you can basically deal with Azure and GCP and AWS and check which is cheaper for your needs. If you're already into AWS or GCP or Azure, you would be in a vendor lock-in and you cannot move very easily. But if you're not in a vendor lock-in, then that would be much easier for you to shift to a different cloud provider. So to be frank, there is literally no real life differences. They're all the same. Okay, what is the so from Ashish, there are two questions. What is the best programming language? In my view, Java, Python, C++, or C Sharp. So it totally depends. So if you want to learn a programming language where you want to basically test your logical skills, then I would suggest Java, C++, or C Sharp. So you can just go for C Sharp or Java. C Sharp is kind of a better version of Java, but again, C Sharp is mainly used for .NET development, but Java is totally platform independent. It can run in every single device. Yeah, so I would, okay, so if you want to go for a high level language, in this case, I would say Java. Or if you don't want to basically mind about that, you just want to learn a really good programming language, then just go with Python. From Onkar Singh, I'm good at coding. Sorry, okay, I'm not good at coding. I'm an undergrad. Is there any problem? Is there any problem in the sense? Will there be a problem if you take our training, or will there be a problem if you go into Azure? So can you just put down the question? I didn't actually get your question. Okay, from Manikanda, what can be the salary we can expect for a beginner? I would say 7 LPA, because that's what I checked in Glassdoor. So you can just go to Glassdoor or Indeed.com and check for yourself. Next question is from Saroj Kumar. For Azure data engineer role, do we need experience on any one of programming skill? Actually, yes, you would need not that much, but you would need a little bit, because as a data engineer, you would be essentially working on data tools. Like, let's say there is a data factory, there is data lake, and yeah, so pretty much you'll be working on them. So you would need SQL more than a programming language. So I would say SQL, yes. All right, so just give me 1 second, guys. All right. Okay, so there is another question from Ashish. Can a fresher or a non-tech guy get a direct job? So I'm not going to answer this. My colleague will be the right person to answer this because I'm more of the technical person. They are the course advisor. So I'll let this question be here. Ashish, so you can just ask this question once again or just let it be. They'll surely answer your question. From Subaka, is your admin or is your DevOps? Which one is good for info guys? Info. I didn't get what info is. So can you please elaborate on that? Can you please elaborate on that, please? So I didn't get what info is. Infrastructure. Do you mean infrastructure or? Um, Next question is from Shiva. I'm working as a backup administrator on IBM TSM 5 years. Planning to learn Azure. Which certification do you suggest for me? Okay, I'm not sure. I'll leave this question here. My colleague will be the right person to answer this. Average salary for solutions architect. So as I told you, it is 17 lakhs per annum in India. Because what is Terraform? Rupesh has left, but still Terraform is a cloud automation tool where you can create templates and you can run that templates every time when you want to create a new architecture. You don't have to create them from scratch. Do companies prefer non-IT experienced guy for cloud? Again, I'll leave this question here because I don't want to give any wrong information, Sairam. My colleague will be answering them. If I'm moving from industrial automation sector, okay, so these career-related questions I'll just leave here. Okay, another question from Sairam, which is relevant here. Is Linux necessary? Yes, Linux is absolutely necessary for any IT role you're going to take up. Essentially cloud, because 90% of cloud servers run on Linux. So yes, it is really required, and that's a really good question. Okay, ask another question from Advita. Cost is high, less data centers, no own VPC routing, more latency compared to GCP than Azure is second by company or GCP. Should be some USP. I don't get this question, Advita. So do you mean that GCP has lesser data centers and their cost is high? So I don't know how they have more latency. So it doesn't matter, right? Even though they have less data centers, if you are serving your application closer to the user, it doesn't matter if they have lesser data centers. It just matters that you are serving them through the edge location. So so that I'm not sure. Okay, from Janvi, will Intellipaat provide job? So we do provide job assistance. That basically means we'll make you sit in an interview, but clearing the interview is totally in your hand. But again, more about that, my course advisor will talk about it because I'm not pretty sure about it because that information, I'm just talking about information which is in the website. Okay, so now coming to the next one, apart from existing Microsoft infrastructure, sure. Okay, I'll answer 3 more questions and I'll just hand over my session to my colleague, guys. Just give me 1 second. Again, from Rupesh, so what is Terraform? I think you left and you joined back, so I'll just give you another brief. So basically, Terraform is a cloud automation tool where you can create, let's say, a file, and if you run the file, it will automatically create a complete cloud infrastructure for you. You don't have to create anything from scratch. So that's basically Terraform. Okay, from Manikanta, is it better to choose administrator or developer in Azure? So that's what I told, right? If you want to become, if you are good with software development and you want to get into cloud, then choose Azure developer. If you are good with, if you don't want to associate yourself with programming, then go with this administrator. But to clear the Azure developer examination, you don't need programming. So if you want to clear it first and then proceed with the software development career in Azure, then it's totally your choice. Yes, just give me 1 second. Is it better to choose administrator over developer? Okay, so this I just answered. From Ashish, what are the basics should we have to know to learn Azure or any cloud perfectly? So first, learn the cloud basics, how cloud works, what are the deployment models, what are service models, and then learn networking fundamentals, like what is an IP address, what is HTTP, what is SSH. So first, learn the basics of cloud, Linux, and networking, and then move on with cloud. Okay, so next is AZ104 will be considered as fresher. Okay, Marga, so I'll leave this question here and it will be answered by my colleague. Once, okay, will administration side have many opportunities or developer side? It's so both sides have equal opportunities, because in a company, if they are creating applications and deploying it into cloud, they obviously have an administrator. So that's the answer. And final question, more briefly, prerequisites to learn for cloud. Okay, so Linux, basic networking, basic cloud fundamentals, and then start with Azure directly, learn the integral services, and then move on with other cloud services. Okay, guys, so thank you so much. So now I'm handing over the session to my colleague, who's a senior course advisor. So they'll be talking more about the training and the certification. All right. So thank you so much. Please hang on for 10 to 20 seconds. They'll be starting right now.
Hello everyone, this is Arohi here. I'm a senior course advisor in IntelliPart. So I'll be taking you through all the courses on Azure which we provide in IntelliPart. So I believe Cody has already given you a very brief explanation about the course content and all the topics which we cover in the courses basically here. So I'll just show you what all courses we provide and how the trainings goes on here, and all the features, training features which IntelliPart offers to the learners and everything. So if you guys are in front of the system right now, you can also browse me on the site tabs and everything if you wish to. So the courses we have, I'll just show you. See, I hope you guys very well know that currently the cloud market is very good in the market. Like cloud has a very good demand and it has taken over the market with a very good percentage. So we have various clouds within the market. We have AWS cloud, we have Azure cloud, we have Google cloud, we have IBM cloud, Oracle clouds. There are lots of clouds available in the market. But the obviously, no doubt, nobody can beat AWS cloud. But the opportunities in Azure cloud is much more better because Microsoft upgrade its content very rapidly. So growth rate of Azure is much more better than the growth rate of any cloud right now in the entire world. Because the upgradation in monthly once or twice, Microsoft upgrade its content to the very next level, and they're coming with a very good features and very good properties of the cloud. So in that way, we have a lot of courses available. So Cody might have given you a brief like what are courses we have in Azure basically. So I'll tell you. So the very, very fundamental course which we have to learn before jumping to Azure. So anybody who wants to learn Azure, they have to have knowledge on Azure 900 first, which is Azure fundamentals. Not if Azure fundamentals, then they have to, one second please. Yes, then they have to have knowledge on Azure 104. This course, Azure 104. So there are a lot of details are there for the Azure courses. The very first courses we have is AZ 900, which is the Azure fundamentals. Because all the I'll just tell you what is this code. These codes are for the examination actually. There's AZ 900, AZ 104, AZ 204. These are the examination code which Microsoft gives to each and every of its course basically. So these are the codes which we will be having. So very first and foremost is Azure 900, which is Azure fundamentals. Followed by that, we have is Azure 104, which is Azure Administrator. That is a very admin level knowledge we'll be giving you in there. Followed by that, we have Azure 204 and Azure 303, 304. So Azure 204 is nothing but it's an Azure developer, wherein we learn about the building of the cloud basically. So Azure developer is purely it's coding. So the people who are from developer background, they're working in a .NET developing domain, or they're very good at coding and they love coding, so they can go with developer courses. But the people who does not like coding and anything, this course is not for them. After 204, solution architect, this is my personal favorite courses because solution architect demand course, it's a very demanded course actually. So the certification number is at 303 and 304. So in solution architect, basically we learn the designing of the cloud, which is very important. How the cloud has been designed in such a way that it's storing all this data into this cloud with the proper information and everything, with the proper security, access management, and everything. So these are the main important courses we have in Azure, which is 104, 204, and 303, 304. Now, a very, very important course which I would like to show you is Azure DevOps training. I hope the learners who are there with us right now in the session, they very well know the importance of DevOps in the market right now. So the people, anybody who's working on the cloud, they have to work on the automation environment also with that. Just a second. I'll just show you also. One second, please. Yes. Sorry for the mistake, guys. Yeah. So in the session, if you see that here we have this code, I'll just show you Azure DevOps training as well here. And once. So basically, anybody who works on the cloud, any cloud you work on, AWS cloud, Azure cloud, or Google cloud, with that you have to work on the automation environment. That's a compulsion because currently 86% of the company who are working on the cloud, they are working on the DevOps tools as well, automation environment. So it's mandatory that if you're learning cloud, you have to learn DevOps. Whether you learn it right now immediately, whether you learn after like 1 month, 2 months, that's totally your call. But Azure DevOps is one of the very demanded course, especially the integration. So anybody who offers Azure DevOps training here, we teach them 3 courses here. The very first course we teach is Azure 104, which is Azure Administration. Second course we teach here is DevOps certification training, wherein we give them the overview of all the tools like Git, Docker. I'll just show you the content as well in Azure DevOps here. I'll just show you the curriculum. So here you can see. So this is the Azure admin content. Just a moment. Yes. Yes, so you can see the very first topics we are going to cover here is for Azure 104. And also you can see here after every topic and after every content, we are giving you the hands-on as well. You can see here starting with module 1. So you can see we'll be starting with introduction to cloud computing and everything here. So here also we'll be giving you 3 courses as I told you. First will be Azure 104. Second will be is DevOps certification. Second will be DevOps certification training, and third will be our Azure 400, which is Azure DevOps, wherein we are going to learn the integration of Azure DevOps. So in DevOps also we'll be covering various tools like Git, Docker, Selenium, Maven, Jenkins, Ansible, Puppet, Nagios, Kubernetes, Terraform. So all these tools we are going to cover here with the details. So you can see here also, I'll just show you. So you can see after every module we are covering the hands-on exercise as well here. I'll just show you. In module 1, you can see after 1.8 we have hands-on. In module 2 also you can see introduction to ARM and Azure storage. And after 2.9 we are giving you hands-on. So basically you will see that after every module we are giving you hands-on, because if at all you are going with the knowledge, with your theoretical knowledge, your practical knowledge is very important. So here after every module we are giving you the hands-on to work on. And you can see here infrastructure setup, I'll just show you. We are covering all these tools, Git, Docker, Maven. So because before jumping to Azure DevOps, we are going to teach you all the tools of DevOps also, so that you can get an overview of all the tools before learning the integration. And then we have very 6 important topic in Azure DevOps. You can see first is Azure DevOps, Azure Repos, then we have Azure Artifacts, Azure Test Plans, Azure Pipelines, Azure Both, and then we will learn the integration of Terraform tool with Azure Cloud as well. So this is the course which is highly demanded, like whether you go with AWS with DevOps or Azure with DevOps, you have to have a basic idea on this courses. This we are going to cover here. Now I'll just show you one more thing here. We have recently Azure Data Factory, which is DP203 course, has gained a very good popularity. The people who want to become like data analyst or data engineer, they can go with this course, the Data Factory course, which is a very good course. And here we teach you about the data lake, data factory. Basically, you learn how you can connect the Power BI with the data lake and how to use it as a data factory. So these are the courses which we have. And we have the combination of all these courses which you get in this Azure Master Training. And which is one of the very popular course. The people who are fresher to experienced people can offer the course. There is no particular experience or basic idea you require for this course or any prerequisite. You can see. First of all, you can see this course we have in collaboration directly with Microsoft. So all the trainers who trains you on the course, they all are Microsoft certified trainers and they are having a very good experience in the particular domain here. And all the courses which I've shown you separately, 104, 204, 303, 304, you can see here, Azure DevOps, Data Factory, all this will be covered in a single course only. Linux, cloud computing is at 900. So everything and content is ditto same, whatever you'll be learning in a single course in the master program. It's just like we have clubbed the courses because the people who really want to become solution architect or a technical architect in the company, for that, these skill sets are mandatory. So that's why we have given this combination of courses. And if you see here, I'll just show you the content. Here, same content which you'll see in there. After every module, I'll just show you, apart from the hands-on exercise. We are giving you the live projects as well. After every, you can see in Azure Administration, we have project 1, project 2, case studies also over there. So here you'll be getting the projects, case studies. So basically, after every module, we are giving you hands-on. And after every course, we are giving you the industry live, real-time live projects basically. So you can have a real-time experience on the entire Azure cloud. So this course, Azure Master course basically contains 58 live projects and 326 hands-on exercises in total. So we, in IntelliPart, we follow 30 to 70 ratio, which is 30% will be the theoretical knowledge and 70% will be the practical knowledge. So here we'll be focusing that you can understand the concepts very well, because if you go for a job change or if you want to learn it for your understanding also, your practical knowledge is very, very, very important. The better practical knowledge you have, the better package you can expect in the company. So that's why here we focus on taking a good understanding on the same here. We'll be giving you the, and as we're in the collaboration with Microsoft, we do provide, in IntelliPart, we provide you lab vouchers also, till the time you don't complete your projects. So we help you with the lab vouchers also here included in the pricing only. So we have taken the vouchers from the website here. And this training is a proper live interactive session. Like it will be proper, like you can see my screen and we can talk and everything. It's just like here, like you're not able to speak, but in that Zoom meeting session, we'll be properly able to interact with the trainer. We'll have proper interactive sessions with the trainer here. So we have 2 batches for the classes here. One is the weekday batches, which goes from every Tuesday to Friday morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And one is the weekend batches, which goes every Saturday and Sunday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. So these are the batches which we have for the classes here. So apart from these batches, you get the recordings lectures also, which is available for you for the lifetime. So after every sessions, the recordings will be there within your LMS portal here. And then in IntelliPart, we are the institute which gives you the lifetime access for the live classes also. So if you miss any classes or if you want to repeat any class, you can reattend the batches n number of times. So that is a plus point which you get in IntelliPart. And we give you the materials which we have purchased from the Microsoft website. We give you the ebooks, we give you the PDFs, materials, all the content which you have purchased from Microsoft website. That is included in this only. So that contents and everything will be included, will be giving you on the courses here. With that here, with proper, as I told you, we'll be giving you the proper live training, proper practical knowledge, and then we help you with the lab environment also. As I told you, you get the lab voucher for all the labs here. So we'll be giving the lab voucher wherein you can deploy all the projects very easily. Okay. Now, apart from the labs here, we prepare you for certifications. I'll just show you the certification also. So all the certification, areas of certification, we are going to prepare you here. You can see the certification code Azure 104, 204, 303, 304. All the examinations we are going to prepare you here. And apart from that, you get 2 certifications here for all the courses. The very first certification which you can see is from Microsoft company, which is a training certification from Microsoft. And the second course, second certification which you can see is a course complete certification, which you'll be getting from IntelliPart. So for every course, you'll be getting these 2 certifications included in the pricing only. Okay. And after that, if you'll see, we have this career service option. In career service option, basically, we provide these 3 steps are there. The very first step includes is interview preparation. In interview preparation, basically, we prepare you for the interview mock calls. The trainers take 25 to 30 interview mock calls to prepare you on the interview rounds. Followed by that, we have the one-to-one career mentoring sessions with your trainer, wherein they guide you with your better career opportunities. And then we have the profile building. In profile building, basically, what we do, we make your new resume. So wherein we are going to add all the previous experience and all the current projects and certification which you have done with us. We are going to mention to your resume. And I'm pretty sure almost all the people who are there in the session have their own LinkedIn profile also. So we are going to upgrade their LinkedIn profile also and making it look more technical basically, so that you can get a better opportunity accordingly. And the job assistance, basically what we do, after your training, after your interview preparation is done, after your profile building, we prepare you for the interview rounds. After that, we only schedule the interviews for you. So we are in collaboration with a lot of MNCs like Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, Deloitte, Mu Sigma, Cisco, Ericsson, HP, HCL, Genpact, Hexaware. So there are a lot of collaboration behind the company. So we only schedule the interviews for you according to your preferred job location. So minimum 3 interviews we give, and maximum till the time you don't get a job placement. So it's a good 100% job opportunity which you get from our side. We make sure that you get a good opportunity from our side with a very good package and a better designation in the market, obviously. So that is the main goal of the course, basically. And if I talk about the here we give you 24 into lifetime technical support. That is the best part. After your course completion also, because if master program is basically a 6 months program. So after your course completion also, after 7-8 months, if you wish to take the training again, or if you want a support again, you can just tell us and you can just drop a mail to a support team and we'll be providing you the entire support again. So it's a lifetime technical support you will be getting from our side. And as I told you that Microsoft is a company which upgrades its content very rapidly. So in that case, you get basically, we provide in a developer lifetime free upgrade. That means that any upgradation comes to this technology, will be giving you all the upgradation for free here. So there is nothing issue will be having with the upgradation. All the upgradation, you can just drop a mail and we'll be teaching you all the upgradation here, including the pricing only. Okay. So guys, if you have any query regarding anything, I'll just share you my number as well. And on the fees, just let me talk about the fees as well. Here, you can see of the fees, the course price is actually 55,000 rupees. With GST, it comes around 64,905 rupees. But we are going to today, because of the session tomorrow, till tomorrow, if you enroll with us, we are giving a flat 40% off on the courses here. Flat 40% you'll be getting on the courses, including the GST and everything here. So I'll just note down my number as well here. My name is Arohi, and this is my number 9123584192. So this is my calling number as well as WhatsApp number. You can contact me on this number from morning 10 a.m. till night 11 p.m. available. So you can call me or you can message me. I'll be surely helping with all the queries you have. And you can just contact me and I'll be helping you with the best offers. And for further details, also you can contact me here. And if you guys have any questions, please drop in your question in the question box and I'll be answering all your questions. Okay, so I have a question from Ashish Shekhar. So the question from Ashish is that what are the basics should we have to learn, should we know to learn Azure or any cloud perfectly? So I'll tell you basically, there is no particular prerequisite required to learn any cloud. But if you have any basic idea on networking, or if you have any basic idea on Linux, because currently Linux has taken a very good hike in the market actually. because a lot of people have started using Linux operating system instead of Windows operating system, and a lot of people using Linux for scripting part as well. So Linux, if you know a little bit, it's better. But if not, also we are covering in the syllabus only, so it's totally fine. Next question we have from Akhilesh. Azure 104 certification will be considered as fresher. That's totally correct. Azure 104 generally we give to the fresher only. That's why I recommend you to take master program, because in master program we cover all these certifications from fresher level to the architect level, and you can get a good growth accordingly on that. Okay, again got a question from Ashish. I'm Azure fundamentals, data fundamentals, Azure admin, Azure 305. Will I get a job as a fresher in Azure, or in AWS? I will get a job as a fresher in cloud. Okay. So first of all, by doing this cloud master, as I told you, this Azure master training we generally suggest to the people who have experience more than 5-6 years, because they're looking for a better position in the market. So no, you will not be taken as a fresher, because the amount of practical knowledge you are getting here, and the amount of projects and hands-on which we are getting here, giving you here. Once we add this practical projects and practical knowledge to your resume, we can show that you have a good experience on the cloud domain. So in that way, you will not be taken as a fresher. We'll be taking you as a good experience person, that you have a good experience on the cloud domain, and accordingly, you can expect a very good package accordingly in the market here. So by Rupesh, we have a question here. Which tool is provided by Microsoft for DevOps? For DevOps, basically, as I told you here, for DevOps, we use a lot of automation tools. We basically cover 17 tools, which includes our Git, Docker, Selenium, Maven, Jenkins, Ansible, Puppet, Nagios, Kubernetes, Terraform, Nexus, JFrog. All these tools we teach you in the integration of the DevOps tools here. Now we have a question from Shubhakar, that is Azure admin or Azure DevOps, which one? Shubhakar, this question, very simple answer I have for this question. Azure DevOps is mandatory, because if at all you're working on any cloud, as I told you, whether you're working on AWS cloud or Azure cloud or GCP, you have to work on the automation environment. So this is not a question if you are looking for a better job package, a better designation, you have to go with Azure DevOps training. Azure DevOps is a very, very good course personally, because I have seen a lot of my clients getting a very good growth in salary and their career after doing this course. Now I have a question from Mohammed Faisal. I'll just read the question. Can you elaborate on the role of a program manager managing a program for Azure or any of the cloud, covering roles and responsibilities? How to set up governance structure, and how to handle migrations, engage customers, manage stakeholders, mitigate risk, etc. Do you have any suitable training for this? Yes, obviously, as I told you, Azure master trainings will be covering all these topics which you have just mentioned. So if you want to cover all these topics, you can take up that course, which will be covering all the requirements which you have right now. So Vaibhav, I have a question from Vaibhav, that is, I'm currently working in telecom, which course is basically good for me. So Vaibhav, as you're working in telecom, so obviously you can go with cloud. Azure cloud will be a very good option for you. Whether you go with AWS cloud or Azure cloud, it does not matter. But yeah, as I told you, opportunities in Azure are very good because of the good growth and everything. So if you go with Azure cloud, you can just go for it for sure. And if you have any further doubt on that, you can just give me a call on the number which is visible to you on your screen, and I'll be helping you with the further doubts here. So I have a question from Sairam. Do company prefer non-IT experienced guy for cloud industry as entry-level cloud engineer? So Sairam, you can just, for this question, I have a very good answer. So first of all, we have our own YouTube channel for IntelliPart with 1 million plus followers. And we have uploaded a lot of success stories of the people who have taken the training from IntelliPart. And we have a lot of people in that who have upgraded themselves from non-IT to the IT field after doing our courses. So if possible, you can just ping me on WhatsApp, and I'll be sharing some of the videos with you, wherein you can just see all the success stories, and you will be getting a confidence in you by seeing them, obviously. Then we have a question from Rupesh. I'm having 10 years of experience in ASP.NET. Is this course suggested for me? Obviously, as you're from .NET background, I think without even thinking, you can go with Azure Master Training, because so that you can have a better, as I told you, you can expect a very good roles in the market as a transformation architect, solution architect, technical architect, easy roles, because being an architect will be handling a team of 30-35 people under you. For that, these skill sets are mandatory. So you can go with this course very well, and we'll be helping you with the further knowledge, obviously. So I have a question from Sairam again, that what is the best programming language for this cloud? See, as I told you that if you have a basic idea on Linux, it's well and good. It's helpful. But if you know some Python and all also, it is an added advantage, obviously. So, and then now next question we have from Manikanta Sai. But having done master's course without having any real-time experience will not helpful, because the companies will expect real-time experience person rather than fresher who came directly by taking trainer as a master. So first of all, Sai, I'll tell you, as I already mentioned you that in IntelliPart we follow 30 to 70 ratio. That is 30% we focus on the theoretical knowledge and 70% we focus on the practical knowledge here. So here we'll, after every courses and after every module, we are giving you the hands-on and real-time live projects to work on. So you get to work on 58 live projects plus 326 hands-on exercise. So our main focus also is to make you prepare for the next future. That's why we focus on a lot of practical knowledge here. So don't worry here. By doing master course, we are giving you real-time experience only, which will be helping you to go with the company who's expecting a real-time experience. I hope I'm clear with the answer here. For further questions, you can just message me, Sai. I'll be more clear on that part. Then again, we have a question from Weber, is that this course will help to upgrade in placements in cloud-based company. That's totally true. After you do this course, it will be not only upgrading your knowledge, but yeah, will be helping you with the better career opportunities as well in the market here. That's why we are here for to help you with the better career opportunities in the market. So now I have a question from Manikanta Sai again. That's what will you suggest? Because I chose taking administrator role first and then get experience, and I want to explore more by administrator because I am more into developing side. So as I told you, you are more into developing side. So Azure Developer or Azure DevOps will be a very good course for you. But as I told you, if you want to jump into the Azure market, Azure 104 knowledge is very, very important, because if you don't know the fundamentals of Azure, it's very difficult to learn Azure Developer or any other course of Azure directly. That's why here we have this master program for you, which will be helping you to learn the entire courses in detail. Now I have a next question from Soumyaji, that is, will your cloud master certification, which has AWS and Azure to some extent as well, will do, or will have to take Azure separately? Soumyaji, that's a very good question actually. It's good if you're learning multiple clouds. Also, it's very good because there are a lot of companies currently they are working on the hybrid cloud also. Like let's example, like IBM has its own cloud called IBM Cloud, but still they're working in AWS and Azure integration. If I talk about IntelliPart also works in AWS and Azure cloud. That's why if you know all the three clouds, obviously it's very good. But the people who really want to master into only one particular cloud, then they can go with the Azure Master Training. But if you are thinking of going the cloud master training, that is also a very good option here. Then we have a question from Ishwar, that can you please explain once again on the fee? Ishwar, for the fee, you can just contact me directly on my number. I'll be giving you a clear detail in that with a good EMI option as well, because in IntelliPart we provide a good debit card EMI plus credit card EMI options also. Then again, we have a question from Mohammed, that is fee for Azure Master Training and modules covered. Mohammed, I'll request you and everybody on the session right now, for all any fees details you want, you can just directly contact me on my number visible on the screen, so that it will be easier for me to help you on the further. So now again we have a question from Sairam. What if we could not crack interview within 3 interviews? Do you conduct further interviews? Sairam, I'll be more clearer here. I told you minimum 3 interviews and maximum till the time you don't get a job placement. So don't worry, after 3 interviews also, if you're not able to clear, we'll be giving you more opportunities rounds here. So don't worry about that part. Okay. And Rupesh please explain the content of live projects. So Rupesh, you can also contact me. I'll just send you the link of the course wherein you can just get the detailed information of all the live projects which we are providing after every course is here. Okay. Now we have Soumyaji. I have been in industrial automation engineering sector for more than 5 years. How challenging will it be to shift to cloud, and will be my experience be counted? Want to be solution architect more than DevOps? If you want to become a solution architect, then you have to work on the DevOps, Soumyaji. There is no options for that, because once you start learning cloud, you will automatically get the idea and you'll automatically get the importance of the DevOps in the cloud market. Because DevOps is such a environment which accelerates the work of cloud in such a way that everybody wants to work with DevOps right now. That's why I don't know that there are a lot of mostly all the cloud providers are working on DevOps tools here. One or the other tools, basically, because we have multiple tools available in DevOps. So you don't worry about that. We'll be helping you to understand the concepts here. So next question we have is from Janvi. If I enroll in Azure Cloud Master, will I get a job or interview? So Janvi, first for that, I need to understand your profile. So if you can just contact me on the number given on the screen, I'll just be able to, understand your requirement, your profile, and accordingly, I can just, answer this question very well. So Rupesh, question is 40% discount applicable till when? So it's till tomorrow 11 p.m. actually, Rupesh. So you can contact me before then and I can help you with the coupon codes available. So any questions you have more, guys, please ask me. I'll be happy to help. Any questions, guys? I'm there on the line. Or for any questions, further questions, I have given you my number. You can contact me anytime. As I told you, from morning 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. available for any calls. And if you guys are really looking for a good offers on the courses, you can just avail it. Because as I told you, before 10 p.m. Before 11 p.m. tomorrow, we have this offer available. So I'll just show you my screen again. You can just contact me on this number and I'll be helping you with all details here. I think nobody has any question. Okay, I got a question from Manikanda Sai again. As you mentioned, we will be having classes in okay, one second. Before that, I have a question from Mohammed. Fee for Azure Master Training. As I told you, Mohammed, for the fees, please contact me over my number because I can give you a clear information on that here. Okay. And from Manikanda Sai, as you mentioned, we will be having classes in morning 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We'll be having the theoretical classes at the time, and for practical, what will be the time and will be the given assignments after classes because I enrolled for admission course today. Okay. So it's very good to know, Sai, that you have already enrolled with us. So yes, the classes will be from morning 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. First will be theoretical classes, then we'll be focusing on the practical projects also accordingly after that. So that will be the criteria of the courses here. So here, guys, like you can just start messaging me right now. Also, I'm available for the calls till 11 p.m. here. You can message me on my number. This is my WhatsApp number. You can ping me. If you don't feel like talking, you can ping me. We can chat over the messages. Or if you feel like talking, you can just call me on my number immediately, and we can talk for the further discussions. So I think I'm pretty much clear. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with the session. Thank you so much for sparing your time. It was nice talking to you and nice answering all the questions which you have. It was actually amazing. And I've already showed you all the course content which you have on the website. But still, if you need more clarity, please contact me on my number and I'll be helping you with the further knowledge here. Thank you so much, guys. So I'll be just ending the session right now. And thank you for your time. Thank you so much.